Thanks so much for joining me today. I have got another fabulous, wonderful live class for us. This week on my TikTok account, I just started one. If you're on there, you can go and follow me. But I had a couple of questions about moving from a three-legged dog to a low lunge, and I gave a couple of tips there. So I thought I would do today's class kind of surrounding that, because that is a challenging transition for a lot of us. I do have a set of blocks with me, and that's one of my biggest tips for my friends that are doing either a yoga class or a Pilates yoga fusion or any type of class that you go from like a downward dog into a lunge, because again, that has a lot to do with both strength and mobility and your proportions. And if you've got short little arms like I do, then a set of blocks can make a huge difference. So again, I've got blocks today. You don't have to have them to complete the class. Just thought I would let you know. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. Now I've also got a blanket here because my knees are feeling sad, and it's always good to give yourself a little extra padding if we need so in our knees. Let's start in a child's pose today. Knees can be together or apart, and you can crawl your hands away. Let your forehead meet the mat. Maybe close the eyes if you feel comfortable with that. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. Easy sigh out the mouth. Again, big breath in. Big breath out. One more time. Let it go. Seal your lips together. Breathe through the nose. Maybe push your hips a little further back. Maybe start to crawl your hands further forward. 3 times, I want you to rise up to your hands and your knees. Exhale, immediately push back to your child's pose. Let's allow this to become a little bit of a cat and cow, rounding as you come up, arching as you push back. One more time, just like that. Inhale up. Exhale, tip back and pause. Stay in your child's pose once again. Go ahead and crawl your fingertips all the way over to your right side. Think about opening up your left ribs. It might feel nice to even push your hips a little bit to the left, kind of pushing them away from your hands. And then crawl your hands over to the opposite side. Open up the ribs. Push your right hip over to the right. Come back to center. Again, lightly push the palms into the floor. Inhale, rise to hands and knees. Exhale, tip back to your downward dog. Inhale, rise to hands and knees. Exhale, arch and tip back. This time, rise to hands and knees and pause. Find a tabletop position. From here, push the floor away, broaden across the chest, really lift the tummy up and in, and extend your right leg behind you. Tuck the toes and push your heel towards the ground. Get a nice little stretch there through your calf. 3 times, rock forward, rock back. Rock forward, rock back. One more, forward and back, pause. Slide your right knee in, take your left leg out. Same thing other side, push the heel back, enjoy that stretch at first. We can stay still, or again, a few times forward and back. Getting a little deeper stretch to the back of the calf. And then slide both knees in. Extend your right leg out and away. Only lift it so far up that we don't arch our back. Knit the ribs together, squeeze where your thigh and your glute connect, and grow along from the tip of your ears through your body out your toe. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, pull your knee to nose, round forward. Inhale, push it away. Keep going at your own pace. Now this is an excellent exercise, both to help with our abdominal strength and our mobility in our hip and knee and shoulders, which is all needed for that transition from a downward dog to a lunge. This is a great setup, kind of wake up exercise for us when we know we want to do something like that. This next time, pull your knee in and hold. Almost push the floor away. Try to hug your shin closer to your body. Really think about tipping or pulling your pubic bone up towards your belly button so you're rounding as much as you can, making space between your shoulder blades. Extend the leg long and straight, pause, navel in, chest open. Take a big inhale. Give me 5 tiny circles of your lifted right leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Reverse. Keep your hips so still, so even. Pause. Again, first direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Last time, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Take a nice big breath. Set your right leg down, sink back to your child's pose. Knees again together or apart. Maybe change it up if you've been doing one or the other. Rise back to hands and knees, broaden across the chest. Extend your left foot out and away. Now again at first, let's think about pushing the floor away and broadening across the chest. Pull your navel to spine. Imagine you have a belt on, it got a little bit tighter. Squeeze your thigh butt connection so much. And then start to pull your knee into your nose. Push it away. Round, pull it in. Push it away. Every time I bring my knee into my chest, I think of it as a low tummy crunch. I'm really using my deep abdominal muscles to round. Push out. Once or twice more. And now this next time, round in, again, hold, push the floor away. Think about separating your shoulder blades behind your back. Pulling your pubic bone up to the belly button, hugging your knee, your shin closer to your body. Extend, lengthen, pause. Take a big inhale, tiny circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Again, keep your shoulders and your hips as still as possible. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Take a nice big breath. Set the knee on the ground. Sink back to your child's pose again. Tighten your fingertips. Let your forehead fall to the ground. Big inhale. Big breath out. Roll yourself up to a seat. If kneeling does not work for us, of course, take a cross-legged seat. That is totally fine. Hands to our thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Lift up and out of the waist. Pull the tummy in. Take a big inhale. Swim your hands high. Exhale, hands behind the head. Poke the elbows nice and wide. Take a little side stretch over to your right. Now notice, did you just kind of collapse and look down? I want you to poke your left elbow straight up, really fanning open our side ribs. Come on back up. Same thing, other side. Open up the side body. Push your elbow nice and far up to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, come out. That felt so good. Let's do it again to both sides. This time, come up right, pause, let your hands dangle down by your side. Roll your shoulders backwards. 3, 2, 1. Roll them forward. 3, 2, 1. Take it into your elbows. 3, 2, 1. Roll them forwards. 3, 2, 1. Into your entire arm. Circle your arms as far around your body as you possibly can, really reaching your fingertips out and away. Reverse your circles, other direction. One more time, take the hands high, rotate the pinkies towards one another, grow an inch or two out of your waist. Take a big inhale. Flip your palms, push them down by your shoulders. Reach out and away like there's a table underneath you. Push down into your imaginary table, turning on your arms, and then slide them forward. Flip the palms up to the sky, rotate from underneath your armpits. Navel in, head high, take a big inhale. Try to pull your pinkies towards one another. If they don't touch, or if they only touch because you collapsed your upper body, open them up, broaden across the chest. Only bring them together if we can keep our chest open. Keep that rotation. Take a big inhale, exhale, push your palms up to the sky, drop them down. As I lift and lower my arms here, I'm focusing on my chest staying open, my head lifting high. I'm rotating from underneath my armpits. Again, I know not everyone loves to sit in a little hero's pose, a kneeling position like I am. You do not have to be there right now. You can do what works for your body. 2 more, exhale up, inhale down. Last one up, pause, navel in, head high, take a big inhale. Pulse your hands up, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Pulse again, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Last time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and relax. Come back to your tabletop position. Now, if we have a set of blocks, we're just going to grab them. If you don't have blocks, that's a-okay. You can stay on your hands and your knees. But once more, we're going to extend our right leg away and lift it up. Now, I'm not going to lift my leg up quite as high as I normally would. It's a little bit low, but it's still in line with my shoulders and my hips. If I was just to take it up a little higher, I'm going to start to arch my back. So since I have the blocks up high, my toe's going to be a little lower, so I've still got that long line from my ears to my shoulders, to my hips, to my toe. Like we did just a moment ago, I want you to exhale, curl in, pull the knee in. See if you can hug it a little closer now that you have more space. Stretch and lengthen out and away. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach and lengthen. 3 more. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach and lengthen. 1 more, pull it in and pause. Really push the floor away or push the blocks away. Separate your shoulder blades. Hug your knee, your shin closer to your chest. Take a big breath. Reach it out. Set your leg on the ground. Extend the opposite one out and away. Now again, it's a little bit lower. Take a moment here. Wrap the tummy in. Squeeze your thigh butt connection point. Take a full big breath. Exhale, curl in. Inhale away. Exhale, curl in. Inhale away. 3 more in and out. 2 more in and out. Last one. Reach it out, pause. Navel and chest open, take a breath. Set the knee on the ground, sink back, move your blocks off to the side. We're just gonna lie on our back. You can move your blanket away if you've got one. Take your hands a little bit away from your body, point your nose straight up to the sky, immediately imprint your spine. Heels push down, inhale, lift your hips up, find your bridge pose. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift the hips up, find your bridge pose. Exhale, roll down. 2 more just like that. Now this time, hips lift high and pause. This is definitely more of a Pilates bridge than a yoga bridge. Wrap the ribs together. Squeeze your thigh. Try to push the entire pelvis a little higher to the sky, making space between chin and chest. Big full breath in. Big sigh out. Slowly roll all the way down to your mat. Now from here, let's take our hands behind our head, elbows nice and wide. Full big breath. Can you curl your head and chest up? Now, if you've taken class with me, you know I'm going to say look over your knees. Keep your elbows nice and wide. Try to lift the shoulders a little higher off the ground. Take a full big breath. Big sigh out. Is your low back still touching the mat? Can you hold it in place there? Can you lift up a little higher? Of course, if you want to set the head or chest down, that's a-okay. But otherwise, from here, can you exhale, pull your right leg up? Now, again, if we need to set our head down, that's a-okay. But from here, I'm going to bring your knee as close to your body as you possibly can. Now, inhale, push your toe away. Exhale, hug the knee in. Push the toe away. Exhale, hug the knee in. 3 more away. Exhale, pull it in. 2 more away. Exhale, pull it in. Last one. Bring it in, pause. Curl up a little higher. If you can, release your hands, push them away. Do you see? It's almost like we're in that same position. We're just on our back instead of on our hands and knees. I am hugging my knee in. I am pushing the imaginary floor away. Take a big inhale. Drop everything down. Reach your hands over your head. Take a little windshield wiper of your knees side to side if that feels nice. Oh, I got a couple of little pops there in my back. That felt extra good. Hands behind your head, elbows wide. Imprint the spine, take a breath, curl head and chest up. I'm folding from my sternum. I'm looking over the knees. Pick up your left leg when you're ready. Again, start by hugging it as close to your body as you possibly can. Inhale, push the leg away. Exhale, pull it in. Push the leg away. Exhale, pull it in. 3 more away and in. 2 more, away and in. Last one. Bring the leg in, pause. Again, can you release? Can you reach your hands up to the ceiling? Push your imaginary floor away, separate your shoulder blades, fold a little higher as you bring the knee to chest. Set the foot on the floor, set the hands down. Heel toe the feet nice and wide, knock the knees together, little windshield wiper, side to side. Heel toe the feet back towards one another. Hands down, again, lift up into your bridge. Squeeze your thigh butt connection, roll the shoulders back, maybe push the hips up just a little higher. Take a full, big inhale, roll all the way down to the mat. Again, inhale, lift the hips up, enjoy that nice big bridge pose. Roll all the way down. 2 more, inhale, lift up nice and high. Exhale, roll all the way down. Last one, lift up, pause. Press the shoulders down, press your palms into the floor, really stomp into your feet, lifting the sitting bones up just a little higher. Come all the way down to the ground. Let's pull our knees into our chest, give yourself a hug, a squeeze, and circle your knees around. Circle them in the opposite direction. Start to rock up and down the length of your spine. Give your spine a little massage. Now we're going to rock and roll all the way up into our forward fold. If that is not as successful, that's a-okay. You can just meet me in your forward fold, but this next time I'm going to rock and roll and come all the way up to my forward fold. Heel toe the feet so they're about hip distance. Put a soft bend in your knees, let your head dangle. Maybe sway the hips a little side to side. Maybe make a figure 8 with your sitting bones or nod the head. Eventually pause. Look through the legs, separate the shoulders, bend your knees, roll all the way up to standing. Take a big inhale, both hands lift high. Exhale, flip the palms, push them down towards your sides. Again, big inhale, hands lift high. Exhale, push them down. This time, reach both hands nice and high up to the sky, clasp them behind your head, poke your elbows wide, roll your shoulders back, puff your heart and chest up, squeeze your thigh butt connection point, reach your sternum up, take a big inhale, slowly let that go. Now from here, I want you to make sure your feet are about hip distance apart, put a soft bend in your knees, step your left foot back in just a small lunge. Nothing too big or crazy right now, just waking up the hips a little bit more. Now from here, notice, did you immediately arch the back? Can we pull our navel in? Can we lift out of our waist and hug our inner thighs towards one another? Swim your hands high, grow an inch or 2 taller, 3 times, exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, unravel. Exhale again, twist to your right. Inhale, unravel. Last one, twist to your right and pause. Grow long from finger to finger. Pull the navel in, roll the shoulder back, maybe point your nose back behind you. Unravel, both hands high. Flip the palms, step both feet up towards one another and take your opposite foot back. Again, just a small lunge to start off with, nothing too crazy. Navel in, ears high, both hands lift. Grow an inch or 2 taller, 3 times, twist left. Unravel. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, unravel. Last one, twist and pause. Belly button in, shoulders open, point your nose back behind you, squeeze the inner thighs together. Let it go. Step both feet together. This time I'm going to take my right foot back. And actually, I lied. If you have blocks, bring them to either side of your mat so they're available to us. If we don't have them, that's okay. Step your left foot back. Step it a little further back than we had it before, so we're in a deeper lunge. You might be able to straighten your leg at this point. We might keep it bent. It's a-okay. Take both hands nice and high. Grow an inch or 2 taller. See if you can straighten both legs. Think about squeezing the inner thighs towards one another, growing a little bit higher up to the sky. Flip the palms, press them down on either sides. Back to that table position we had earlier. Push down, lift up. Hands can stay wide. They can also come to our hips, but either way, can we hinge a little bit forward? Getting a bit of a stretch there, perhaps through the back of our hamstrings. If we have our blocks, you might want them at the highest height on either side of the foot. For me, the more I think about tipping my right butt cheek up to the sky, I get a deeper stretch to the back of the hamstring. With or without your blocks, though, we are going to bend our front knee and come down to a lower lunge. Now, if you've got the blocks like I do, you can keep pushing them away, maybe keep them upright. I always like to point out to people, blocks and props in general don't make things easier for us. They make things more accessible for your body. If you've got short, tiny dino arms like me, blocks are really helpful here. I can touch the floor. I do have that range of motion. But did you see I roll my shoulders, I kind of round there? It's not necessarily wrong, but it can feel very nice to have a long, straight line in my body and not feel like I'm having to reach for the floor. Now, with your hands touching your blocks or your mat 3 times, can you straighten your front leg? Exhale, bend the knee. Straighten your front leg. Exhale, bend your knee. One more, straighten, bend, pause. Can you take your right hand to your right thigh? Roll the shoulder back, look over your right shoulder. Maybe lift your right hand up to the sky. Grow long from belly button through the body, out the fingers, big breath. Set the hand back on your block or the floor and hop both feet together. Come back to a forward fold. Head is heavy, give it a dangle. Give your hips a little wiggle. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Big inhale, hands lift. Clasp the hands behind the head, elbows wide. Roll the shoulder back, puff the heart and chest. Come upright. Both hands up. Flip the palms, press them down. Let's step our opposite foot. That's my right foot for me. If you did the other side, no big deal. We are starting in our kind of high lunge with a straight leg if we can. I'm lifting out of my waist. I'm opening up across my chest. Take the hands nice and wide as you straighten your front leg. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Do we want to stay right here? Maybe this is enough right now. Maybe we're ready to tip forward. Again, we can keep our hands out on our hips. We could start to reach for our blocks if we choose. Think about tipping your left butt cheek up to the sky, making that nice big stretch there through the back of your left hamstring. And just pause for a moment. Maybe you're ready to kind of lean down a little bit more. Maybe keeping your shoulders even with your hips is what feels good. And then with or without our blocks, we'll again kind of drop down into our lower lunge. Sometimes when I arrive in a lunge, I just need to settle, to stay and be still. Sometimes a little rock, side to side or forward and back, helps me arrive in the posture a little bit better. You're always welcome to find movement for yourself. Belly button in, chest open, left hand to left thigh. Push through your block or the floor and start to look over your left shoulder. Reach your hand up to the sky. Make space from your hand on the floor through your body, out your left fingertips. Big inhale, big breath out. Hand returns to your block or the floor. Hop both feet together. Push your blocks a little bit off to the side. Find your forward fold. Give your head a little wiggle, a little movement. Bend your knees. Roll all the way up to standing. Both hands swim high. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. Roll the shoulders back. Puff your heart and chest up. Big inhale. Big breath out. Look forward. Release the hands. One more time. Lift the hands up nice and high. From here, we will just drop into a forward fold. You can round and roll all the way down. Can we step back to either a plank or a tabletop? If we are not in the mood for a plank pose today, it is a-okay. You can just find that tabletop. Squeeze your thigh butt connection point. Pull the navel up and in. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Once you arrive, notice you need to reposition where your feet are. Remember, my friends, it is not about shoving your heels down to the ground. It's not even about having straight legs. Downward dog is really about a long, straight spine. Think about growing long from the tip of your head through your body out your sitting bones. Take a full big inhale. Big breath out. Another big inhale. Big breath out. One more breath here. As you exhale, set your knees on the ground, sink back to your child's pose. Crawl your fingers away, let your head be heavy. Roll yourself up to hands and knees. We're going to be in a tabletop for a little bit of time. If you want your blanket, grab it. We're not going to be here forever though, so I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. Now I want you to round the back of the body and look down towards your belly button. Pull the shoulder blades away from one another. It's like you're really trying to separate there. Is there still space between your ears and your shoulders? I hope so. Now tuck your toes, keeping that shape in your body. Take a big inhale. Hover your knees away from the mat, maybe 2 to 3 inches, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees down, elongate the spine. Round, big inhale, exhale, hover and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees down, elongate. One more time, round, push the floor away, hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find a downward facing dog. Again, reposition if we need to. Shine your sitting bones high, hug your inner arms to your ears. Nod the head yes, shake it no. From here, my friends, I want us to start to lift our right leg up to the sky. Just hold it there. Flex your foot. Heel points to the sky, toe points to the ground. That's how we know we're parallel. Now your toe can stay flexed. It could be pointed. It could be soft. But from here, 3 times, I want you to touch your toe to the floor. Lift it up. Inhale, drop your toe to the floor. Exhale, lift it up. One more down. Exhale, lift. Now bring it all the way down to the mat. Take your opposite foot high. Square the hips, square the shoulders, pull your navel in, relax your face. 3 times, toe drops down. Exhale, pick it up. Toe drops down. Exhale, pick it up. One more down. Exhale, lift. Bring both toes down to the ground. Drop back to hands and knees. Sink to a child's pose. Curl the fingers away. Let the head be heavy. Big, deep inhale. Big breath out. Rise back up to your tabletop, just like we did a moment ago. Round the body. Tuck the toes. Now, you can either repeat exactly what we did before, or if we want to make it a little more harder, a little more challenging, we absolutely can. Hover and pause. Now, this is the hard part. If we don't quite do it, it's okay. I want you to take a big inhale. Can you exhale, pick up your right leg, touch it down. Exhale, pick up your left knee, touch it down. Now, I am probably shifting a little bit in my shoulders and my hips. I might be lifting up a little higher. The goal is to stay still and instead to really pull the knee towards your chest. Drop it down. Exhale in, drop it down. Let's do one more set. Last one to the right. Last one to the left. Both knees down, child's pose. Head is heavy. Tent your fingertips. Let your sternum fall to the ground. Big breath. Big sigh out. Another big inhale. Big sigh out. Rise back up to hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Find your downward facing dog. Now, 3 times, let's inhale, wave forward to our plank pose. Exhale, find your dog. Inhale, wave forward to your plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. One more time. Send it back. Hold. Walk the feet a little closer towards one another. Lift your right foot up to the sky once more in our 3-legged dog. Now this time, take a big inhale here. As you exhale, pull your knee to nose, round forward into your plank. Push the foot away. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, push it away. Last one, pull it in. Push it away, pause. Set your foot on the floor. Pick up your opposite leg, navel in, chest open, big inhale, exhale, knee to nose, round. Send it away. Exhale, knee to nose, round. Push it away. Last one. Push it away, pause. Set your foot on the floor. Walk your toes up to meet your hands. Find a forward fold. Bend the knees. Look through your legs as you roll yourself up to standing. Big inhale, hands high. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. Puff your heart, your chest up. Squeeze your thigh. Lift your sternum to the sky. Let it go. Again, both hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck your chin to your chest. Round and roll forward. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale, half lift. Push your head forward, send your sitting bones back. Exhale, forward fold. This is also a wonderful spot. Again, half lift. To use your blocks if you have them. Forward fold. One more time. Let that go. Move your blocks out of the way. They're going to be there for us if we need them. Can we bend our knees so much we touch our fingers to the floor and step our left foot back so we're back in our low lunge? Now again, notice I've got my fingertips tented because that gives me a little extra space, but we could easily take our blocks on our lowest height, the medium height, or the highest height, whatever we need for ourselves here. Really push your pelvis further forward, open up across the chest, take a big inhale. Big breath out. Let's find a twist. Right hand to right thigh, and then right hand can lift. Find some movement in your shoulder. Move the arm around, a great big circle, both directions. Set the hand back onto the floor or your block. Maybe reach your pelvis a little further forward. And then we'll drop our knee down to the ground behind us. Now for me, the more I think about pushing my pubic bone, my pelvis towards my front right heel, the bigger of a stretch I feel through my inner thigh and through my hips in general. Eventually from here, tuck your toe, lift the knee. If you've got those blocks, you might move them a little further away so you can hop both feet together back into our forward fold or arrive however you want to. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Big inhale, hands lift. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. Roll the shoulders back, look. Return upright, both hands up. Flip the palms, tuck the chin to the chest, round and roll down. Again, a couple of half lifts with or without your blocks. Inhale, find your long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, nice big long spine. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Drop down, move the blocks just a little bit, and let's step our right foot or the opposite foot back if you did the other side. Come into your lunge. And again, do we need some extra height? Would it feel nice on this side to have your blocks at a different height? It's okay if our sides are not quite even. Our body's never going to be quite even. But make sure that we have that lovely long line from your left knee, through the leg, down your right leg. Left hand to left thigh, left hand lifts high for a twist. Do you want to stay there? Or again, we can find some movement in our shoulder, circling around both directions. Bring the hand all the way back down and slowly set the knee on the floor. You can tuck or untuck the toe. I like to untuck. That means I usually move some pressure away from my knee. But you can do what works for you, my friend. Take some movement, take a sway, maybe push the pelvis a little further forward, enjoying that lovely low lunge or an Anjaneyasana, whatever you want to call it. There are always like 19 names for every pose we come to. When you're ready, tuck the toe, lift. Move your blocks out of the way as you hop both feet together. Arrive back in your forward fold. Bend your knees, roll yourself up to standing, both hands lift high. Clasp the hands behind the head, roll the shoulders, look up to the sky. Look forward, and then slowly tuck the chin to the chest, roll down into your forward fold. Now one more time, we're going to step back to our plank pose or a tabletop, whatever our body needs. Hold there in your plank, take a big inhale, big breath out. Find your downward facing dog. Now one more time, let's lift our right leg high. 3 times exhale, knee to nose. Push the leg forward. Exhale, knee to nose. Push the leg forward. One more time, knee to nose. Push the leg forward, pause, set the foot on the floor. Left leg lifts high. Same thing other side. Exhale, pull it in. Push it away. Exhale, pull it in. Push it away. Last one in. Reach it out, pause. Set the foot on the floor. Set your knees on the mat. Tip back to your child's pose. Head is heavy. Roll yourself up to a seat. We're going to do that, our lovely little knee to nose from our three-legged dog, but we might use our blocks. Now, I like to use them on the lowest height for this. I find the medium works well. The high feels a little precarious. But having our hands on the blocks, it's going to give us a little bit more space for us to step the foot through from that downward dog into our low lunge. So usually I have the blocks a little bit wider than I would typically speaking, just so I have a lot of space for my foot. And I'm going to hold on to the blocks as I tip back into my downward dog. Now this first time it might feel a little funky, so if you're a little closer to like a half downward dog, a half plank, I'm okay with that. Ideally, we want to push back to our downward dog. We might notice this feels really nice, having the hands a little bit higher. But from here, once more, pick up your right leg. 3 times, exhale, pull knee to nose. Push it away. Exhale, knee to nose. Push it away. This time, knee to nose, step the foot forward. If you still needed a helping hand to scooch it up, that's okay, but hopefully notice we had a lot more space with the blocks. Hang out right here for a moment. Oh my goodness. Push your hips a little further forward. 3 times, push the hips back. Push the hips forward. Rock the hips back. Rock the hips forward. Last one. Reach them forward, pause. Now round the body just like we did on our hands and knees. Almost look down. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, pull a knee in. Push it all the way back to our three-legged dog. Touch your toe to the floor. Amazing. Left foot lifts high. Same thing other side. Start with our knee to nose. Reach it away. Knee to nose. Reach it away. Last one. Step it forward. Pause. Hopefully that felt a little more accessible to our body. Maybe we felt a little more successful doing it. That's my goal. Hips back. Hips forward. Hips back. Hips forward. Last one. Bring them forward. Pause. Now, like we did, round. Look down towards your belly button. Separate the shoulders. Pull your navel in. Take a big inhale. Can you lift up your foot? Can you push it back? Touch both toes to the floor. Set both knees down. Sink into your child's pose. Reach the hands away. Let the head be heavy. Big inhale. Big breath out. Another big breath. Big sigh out. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to a nice tall seat. Hands to your thighs, shoulders back, lift up. Full big inhale. Big sigh out. Go ahead and come to your back. And if we've got our block, we are going to use it one more time. If we don't, certainly not the end of the world. But I want you to lift your hips up and bring the block underneath your sacrum, underneath your pelvis. It should not be at your low back. It should feel like a nice, easy way for you to hang out there. Now, this is a nice supported bridge pose, and we can do some lovely little stretching for our hips from here with just a little bit of elevation. It can change up the way this feels. If you don't have one, no big deal. Just let your hips be on the floor. That's a-okay. Pull your right knee into your chest. Give it a hug, a squeeze, and circle your knee around. Circle it in both directions. Hug it straight back in and elongate your left leg. Now, your leg might be higher than mine. It might be bent. It could be lower than mine. That's awesome, wherever it is. For me, though, the more I imagine someone is holding onto my left ankle, pulling it away, as I pull my right knee into my chest, I get a bigger stretch through my inner thigh and up into my right hip. Everybody's different, though. If you feel it somewhere else, that's okay, my friend. Let that go. Set both feet back onto the mat. Take your hands wide. Pull your opposite knee into your chest. Give it a hug, a squeeze. And again, maybe circle around both directions. Elongate your opposite leg. Hug it in as you pull or reach or stretch your right leg away. I almost imagine trying to touch my right heel towards the ground without bending the leg. Mine doesn't actually touch the floor, yours might. That's okay. Our bodies are different. Take a breath. Now this time just pull both knees into your chest if you can. If you fall off the block, know that I have. No big deal. Can you reach both feet up to the sky? Take your hands wherever feels best. Don't worry about having fully straight legs. You might flex and point the toes a little bit. You might circle the ankles around. Both directions. And if you want a little bit of a supported plow, if you've got the block beneath you, you can just let your legs fall over. You have the range of motion to hold on to the back of them and hug them a little closer you can. This doesn't have to be the deepest plow or supported plow you've ever done. Eventually set your feet back onto the floor. If you have the block beneath you, lift the hips up, move it out of the way. Stretch your body long from the tips of your toes through your body out to your fingers. Big inhale, big breath out. And then just find a final resting pose to settle in. Relax your face, your jaw. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your fingers. Begin to wiggle your toes. Your fingers, roll your wrists. Find any movement that feels good for you, and then roll to one side, pushing yourself up to a seat. As always, my friends, I invite you to pat yourself on the back, to thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. Thank you for coming to class today. I hope you enjoyed this class of kind of building up to some of those bigger transitions. If you have things you want to work on that you need a little help with, I would be happy to hear it and to see what I can do to make our time on our mat a little bit easier, a little more enjoyable. So don't ever hesitate to ask me any questions. As silly as you think they are not silly to me. I am here for you. That's kind of my goal. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and I will see you again next week.